Oedipus Rex by Sophocles. The origin of Oedipus begins with the king and queen of Thebes, who were told the fate from an oracle that their soon to be son would one day kill his father and have children with his mother. To avoid this fate, they sent the child off and hoped that this child would never return. However, what they did, rather than simply killing the child, was they ordered one of their servants to take it away and do the deed for them. However, that servant took pity on this child and rather than killing it, simply staked its ankles and left it to die. As that child was left to die, there was a wanderer from a neighboring kingdom of Corinth who came across the child and thought it'd be best to basically take it and give it to the king and queen of Corinth as a gift, being that they were sterile.
Publius and Merope, the king and queen of Corinth, are very pleased to finally have a child that they could raise and call their own, especially due to their circumstance. With the damage done to the baby, they decide to name their new child Oedipus, which stands for swollen foot. Despite his name, he grows up to be very strong due to the love of his parents. And with that love, he gains much love for them as well as a return, especially for his father. But to this there are all these upsides. There is one negative that Oedipus does not know.
Little did
Oedipus.
know in his wonderful lie was the fact that his parents never told the truth to
Oedipus.
about him being adopted. And one fateful night, he was told by a good friend of his in a bar that he was adopted. But that did not fly with him whatsoever. And not building the courage, he goes to an oracle to discuss this, but he gets more than he asked for. He was told that he will kill his father and have children with his mother.
Upon hearing such news, Oedipus took it upon himself to leave Corinth, as he couldn't do that horrible deed to his parents that has raised him and given him so much support. So he decides to pack up his stuff and dip. So when Oedipus is leaving Corinth, he decides to keep journeying until he reaches a nearby city of Thebes. And on his way there, he's followed by an old man and a chariot and a bunch of his old men. It's like a gang, basically. And they're just walking, and then the old man's getting into Oedipus's head, saying let's move out of the way, get him away, dude. And Oedipus is like, yo, chill, I'm just gonna keep walking, just mind my own business. And then the guy's still provoking him, and then Oedipus says "rar XD" and just attacks everybody and leaves no survivors except for one. There is one survivor who ran away, but Oedipus is slaughtered everybody, and then he's still heading towards Thebes without really caring about this at all. Okay, so after Oedipus went all raw XD on that old man and his gang, he continues heading to the city of Thebes, and as he's heading there, he comes across a creature that has been wreaking havoc in the city. This creature is running wild, killing a whole bunch of people, and Oedipus is really shocked because this creature is basically killing all these people because of a riddle that she can't seem to get the answer to. This creature was what you could call a sphinx, which is a kind of mythical creature which has the body of a lion, with some female features and wings and a beak of a bird. Alright. And the creature basically ends up saying to Oedipus the riddle, right? And the riddle was,
what goes on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening?
And that seems like a really, really difficult riddle. But Oedipus ends up answering it when he says, a man, because a man when he's born, man or woman when they're born, crawls on all fours, and then when they get into their middle age, they basically walk on 2 feet, and then when they are old and about to kick it out the bucket, they walk with a cane. So he answered it right, and then she went berserk and ended up basically killing herself because she found no meaning in life. And they thought Oedipus was a hero, and that leads him into becoming
the king of thieves. And just like any king, he needed his queen. And so when he gets with his queen, they have 4 children, 4 little happy children. And everything seems to be going good for this man. He's already the king of thieves, and it's almost like everything is going to be all right. But out of nowhere, a plague hits Thebes. And in order to find out what the cause of the plague was, he decided to go to an oracle, because the oracles answered every question that you might have, and they would tell the prophecies. So he goes up to see this blind man, the oracle. And it is the blind man that tells him that the reason for the plague is that the previous king was slayed. And so he becomes determined to finding the murderer of the previous king of Thebes, because it was his duty as the new king to guarantee his people that the truth would be unraveled and that the plague would be no more.
Several scenes later,
Oedipus goes to his home to confront his wife out of disbelief on this tragic story. He comes seeing her hanging in the room, and Oedipus does not know what to do. He begins to go on the floor, takes out a knife, and begins to gouge out his eyes in distress.
boom, that's how you take the eyes out.
Oedipus has no idea what he's going to do next, finding out all this stuff that has just happened, so he decides to leave the city and leave his 2 sons in charge and take his 2 daughters out in exile alongside with him. On the way out, he finds out that his 2 children were actually very, very eager to be in power and killed each other. And when it comes to the daughters, they died as well. Oedipus on his own was traveling in the middle of nowhere until one day lightning struck and he was summoned by Zeus.